Hey, it's Jim Peterson of the Minnesota Timberwolves coming at you from LA Live. And you're watching Wolves After Dark. Welcome.
I believe that the Minnesota Timberwolves are going to win the World Championship.
Edwards. They are advancing to the Western Conference Finals for the first time in 20 years.
Oh, it's on, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yeah, baby.
Welcome in to Wolves After Dark. Timberwolves win 117-93 in a game that they absolutely should have won 117-93, if not by more. If you're new here, like the stream and comment below. What do you think? Wolves in 5, Wolves in 6, something else? Let me know. And who was your player of the game? Let me know your player of the game before we get into the tier list, before we get into any of that stuff. By the way, I forgot I have the tier list pulled up here someplace. Yeah. Well, initial reactions here. That was weird. I honestly don't think I've ever. I was not having a great time during this game. The 13-0 run was fun, but it was like somewhat expected. You know, it's like all these teams, like OKC, when they were just like starting to blow out Denver. It's like, okay, well, it makes sense that they needed to have like a game like this. But you know, for me, I've just seen so many games in this playoffs and from this Timberwolves team this season where it's like, oh, we're up 20. That means tie ball game, basically, you know. So it was a weird game. Not a great Anthony Edwards game. Pretty great Randle game, I'd say. There was some chaos, but like overall pretty good. A good Jaden game. And finally, a good Nickeil Alexander-Walker game. Holy moly, this took forever. But maybe this is huge if he can get some momentum. Oh my goodness, what a game! Excited to go to the Bay. Not me personally, but I'm excited for the players to go. I think we need an away game. I think we need a away game to kind of lock in, get back together, and just focus. Because even though we went up early this year, or this game just did not feel fantastic. Catching up on some comments. Dear God, I pray we win. Let's go. Yeah, I know. I was pretty nervous throughout the game. I was actually telling Ashwin, which by the way, Ashwin may or may not be here. He's in transit and it might take a long time. So I just wanted to make sure we got the show out. He might join later. Surprisingly, we'll see. How many times do I have to tell you that I'm not hating on Ant? I keep telling y'all he's way worse than he was last year. Only thing he's good at is threes. Well, I'm not going to get too much into that, but I know what you mean, Love Fadina. I don't think you're hating. I think it's fair to criticize. I think it is fair to point out flaws as fans. Like, that's kind of what we do. So I think that's totally fine. I'm going to be the first to say that Ruby Red Squirt has to go. D-Lo. Yeah, Rudy was bad, but he also got poked in the eye. I'm not going to try to give him that, which the announcers, they kept saying that the reason he was out of the game and rubbing his head was because he got hit in the head by a rebound. But it was so clearly that he got poked in the eye. I mean, you could see his eye was all red and he's like blinking like crazy. And every time they cut to him, they're like, oh man, he got hit by that rebound earlier and hasn't been able to come back. Like, they're just trying to make memes happen on the internet. And it's just driving me crazy. Tyler, not Ford. Whoa, Tyler Ford was the referee tonight. I'm going to be honest, right? Or am I remembering last game? I'm crazy. I don't know. I did not know this before the season. Ant moans and cries so much missing point blank layups. He just does it after every time he misses. Now we're noticing it a lot because he's missing so many layups and bunnies. It's crazy. If I were you guys, I would enjoy whatever wins you can get because you aren't going anywhere if your best player is this bad. I agree. And that's what I was thinking for most of the beginning of the game. I was like, if Ant's going to play this bad, it's essentially the same as Golden State not having Curry. Now, I think that our players outside of our main player are better than Golden State, but still, you're playing with your star player and so much it relies on Ant. It's weird. Soaring, bad W, weird W. And I'll take it W. That's what I'm going to call it. Man. Let's see. Wolves in 5, Wolves in 5, Wolves in 5. I mean, hopefully that happens. Hopefully that happens. Nikhil scored 20. He needed that. Now had a night. Yes, he did. Should be Wolves in 5, but I agree. Anthony Edwards is way worse this year. No mid range, can't score easy layups. Worst shooter in the playoffs. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm just. We can get into that conversation another time. I'm not going to dive too deeply into Ant's season right now. We're talking more about tonight, but there's a lot of different things to talk about. So this was on the post game from TNT. If your best player is this bad, 25-9 with 3 steals in a blowout win. Yeah. I mean, I do think Ant was bad tonight. I don't think he was good. But also the announcers were just like, was it Stan Van Gundy? Oh my gosh. It was insufferable tonight. It was seriously so bad. Yeah, no, needed that. Never in doubt, other than a lot of times. But yes, I know what you mean, BX Rip. Somewhat solo. I believe we are the better team, but I don't want to close this series out without. See, somewhat solo. This was also my mindset coming into the game tonight. Like, at this point, all of these games, we're just expected to win. So if we win, and I don't need to care about the national media. This is actually a question I have for you guys to answer in chat. Do you guys, if we were to make it to the finals and possibly win the finals, do you care if that is with Curry goes down with an injury and then next round like some major player is out? Do you guys care, or do you just want to get there? Like, is that all that matters? Because in my mind, I can just see the future, and I just know that if we made the finals or something like that, like look at all the stuff that people post about online, and maybe I shouldn't care about this, but it's like, they just post all this stuff like, oh, well, it was this like Mickey Mouse road to the finals or whatever. Even like the bubble, people go crazy about the bubble and discount that. So it's like, I don't know. It's interesting. Curious to know what you guys think though, because I'm kind of 50-50 on it, but this game, anyways, back to the original question, like Curry, I wish he was there, because every game that we win now, I mean, like, this felt like it should have maybe been a better win for us just because Curry wasn't out there. Now, luckily, the score is large enough that people will just like acknowledge that this was a beatdown. But like really, like Golden State had so many opportunities. They honestly surprised me with some of their lack of like drive at times. It was weird, but Rudy is so garbage. Randle is MVP of the series so far. Randall's low-key been like MVP of the playoffs so far. He played really well last series, and this series too. I mean, he was 10-17 tonight. It's pretty crazy, and he's like our go-to like ball handler a lot now. So, Jaden McDaniels, player of the game. Oh yes, and he had a pogo dunk. That was fun. Jaden was clamps. He was. I will say also, I was a little worried about Jaden because in a interview that he had yesterday, I think, they were talking about how he's going to change his defense. And he's like, oh, yeah, well, now I'm just going to have to go on Buddy and make it tough on him. And he said something to the effect of like, yeah, Buddy's not as good as Curry, which of course is an obvious statement, but it's just one of those things you just like think of last year in the playoffs, which I still don't fully understand how this motivated Kyrie so much. But Ant saying, oh, yeah, Kyrie's my matchup. Like, it's like that motivated him to play so well, apparently, Kyrie. So I don't want to give any motivation to Buddy Hield. I want to give Buddy Hield all the respect. He is the greatest of all time shooter. I want Jaden saying that, not that he's like, oh yeah, he's not Steph Curry, so that's okay. But don't have a membership anymore. Well, guess what? You can get one for $3 a month, $2.99 actually. And support the show. Also like the stream. If we get to, where are we at? Let's say it's kind of a lesser, like I think people aren't as enthused about this game. If we get to 60 likes, we got to get to 60 likes. At least 60 likes, and we can maybe look at a giveaway. Maybe tickets, maybe something else. We still have some other stuff to give away. What the heck? Ashwin, how did you get here so fast?
I ran so far.
It was FedEx, not UPS?
Yeah. How do you know?
I don't know. I mean, I had the tracking number.
Yeah.
Welcome in. W. Ashwin in the chat. Well, you got to watch this game with a friend. So I don't think you heard any of like the commentary or anything like that. So it's all just through your eyes and not your ears.
And
What
nose.
and your nose? Yes, you smelled some stuff too.
Yeah.
What's your immediate reaction to this game?
Hey, we won a game. We needed this more than they did. I think they may have relaxed a bit. I didn't see a whole lot of Jimmy Butler at all, and Draymond Green kind of like was not a no show. I think this game had the makings of us like potentially coughing it up when we weren't really like building a lead. We had a really fun fast start, and then we like kind of like let off the gas pedal. But it was great to see just like a comfortable 10 to 15 point lead throughout the most of the second half. I am feeling like I'm reeling. I really wish I had the Stephen Curry matchup, but and wonderful to see our shots go down, and we just took care of business as we were supposed to.
Yeah, it was a business game. This wasn't super
Ooh,
fun.
business
It
game.
was a business trip. Although
Yeah.
it was in Minnesota at home. But that's also what the next games are going to be. They're going to be business trips. We're just going to try to win. However, it doesn't really matter. I don't know. I kind of wish I knew what the mindset of the players was. I was really kind of excited leading up. There was a quote coming into the game from Finch that he's like, "The guys are quiet," and I kind of liked that. And I was like, "Oh, that's interesting." So they're all like locked and loaded and focused, and I was like, "Okay, this is going to be a crazy game." And the first, obviously, 13-0 run was great. Lots of
that was
energy.
fantastic.
Target center sounded crazy loud too.
I'm excited to rewatch that.
Crazy loud.
But yeah, no. In game one, they didn't really give the target center to cheer anything. They didn't really give much to cheer about. So it was really fun to have that hot start. And I was really like proud of us. Ready. We felt so primed for this game tonight.
Yeah, and we struggle sometimes with home games and going on runs. It's just weird. So, Ryan Robinson, $2 super chat. I appreciate it. 4 of 6 from 3. Cigarza and why not my not. Good. Yes, indeed. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Crone, Nas also saved our ass too, 1000%. He came out looking bouncy and zippy, and he looked good early. And I know he took a couple shots that were, I guess, maybe technically ill-advised, but I was like kind of down for it because just the energy that he looked like he was playing with, and played with the entire game, by the way. He was diving for loose balls, making hustle plays. I don't think that they really went like they weren't noticed too much. I mean, by target center fans, I think they were, especially that dive for the loose ball where he got fouled, I guess, which wasn't really a foul, but they gave it to us. That was good. We get all the garbage time minutes. It's really good to see Nikhil have a good game. Nas have a good game. Dante had kind of the same game he's always had. I don't know what, I was kind of resisting some of people's, I think No Capo was saying, like, I've been trying to tell you guys that Dante is not good all season. I don't think he's not good, but boy, has he struggled in these playoffs. Like, it is like,
so far, I mean, he'll have a game and then we're going to need that one game and it's going to be remarkable. But yeah, he's looked a shell of himself, but hey, I mean, that's part of the reason why we have the depth where we don't have to rely on Dante,
Yep.
We made that trade to also get an additional like supplemental gunner, so in case Na or Nas weren't popping off, great case of emergency, we still have a Dante, so and it is kind of remarkable to have those types of weapons on our bench just sitting and standing by. Yeah, about time Nickeil Alexander-Walker shows up for a playoff game. Seeing those shots go in was exciting, was expected. Honestly, the way that he was playing felt like he knew those shots were going in, as opposed to like felt like he was rushing, he was hurrying, he was playing a little bit differently. And yeah, I mean, I will say I started the game watching, Jaden hit a 3 and Conley hit a 3, and I'm like, we have this game in the bag, man. Like the way that we played so much more up to the level of our potential versus down to the level of our opponent.
Yep. I agree. Right in the beginning, that's what I thought. Nicole Smith, Ant is pacing himself he needs to for the Western Conference Finals. I have been thinking about this. This has been in the back of my head this whole playoffs. Because although everybody, I mean, I know Ant had a really good game in the Lakers series, but like I'm being too picky, but he just hasn't really played like crazy amazing. I mean, his shot's been kind of off. He made some great plays in the Lakers series, no doubt, and he had some like real good runs for sure. But like a fully put together game, other than that 42 or 43-point game that he had, it's I don't know. Maybe my expectations are too high, but it does make me wonder if he is trying to preserve himself a little bit, just because he has talked about how out of it he was for the Western Conference Finals last year. So
Oh
we'll
wow,
see.
Ish, is that true? He was getting oxygen between breaks tonight.
Yes.
Something's going on, man. That's crazy. I hope he's
I think it's
recovering. And
I don't think it's something wrong. I think that it's conditioning. I just think that
that is something wrong.
yeah, that is something wrong. I mean, like he's not sick or something, like whatever Porzingis is going through, which I don't even have any clue what's happening there. But the oxygen, I mean, all players do go get oxygen. It could be asthma. That would make more sense.
Asthma.
That would make a lot more sense as to why he gets so tired, because he gets so tired, and he's talking about how Jaden like could play 48 minutes and not get tired, and he's like, I don't understand. So,
But I did not know that.
but
Hey, I want to get to this comment later, so I'm going to star it. Dub, somewhat solo. Heart, that's a heart. You have to get used to this.
yeah.
Somewhat solo. Too kind, too kind. I'm betting on the Wolves if we advance with my boss at work. Denver or OKC, I'm taking his offer. I know we got them both.
Ooh,
Nice. I love that.
I will say,
keep it chill with your boss.
if we make it past this round, which obviously we should, assuming Curry is at least out until Game 6, I have good feeling about next round. I think both of those matchups are more interesting for our players. Because without Curry, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not going to get to my pessimistic views here. We won. We'll stick it with that. We won. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so far behind on comments. Oh my gosh. Okay. You caught up. Thank you. Woo. Okay. Crazy.
Well, I showed up late, so it was already like ahead,
That's okay. That's perfect.
Simon Wright says if the Timberwolves win the chip, it would be like can you pronounce that for me?
Nope.
Leicester City winning the Premier League. People would be in shock more than anything. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I don't know anything about the Premier League or however you say it.
Conditioning, man, this is
Yes.
that's crazy. Yeah,
I mean, I didn't know about asthma. I didn't know about the asthma.
Leicester. Okay, dude, I did not know about the asthma. That is very relevant.
That is relevant. Yes.
Crazy, because he's looked fine. He looked fine until like the Dallas series where he lost his legs. He said,
Yeah,
it wasn't about like conditioning.
I think I even if he has asthma, which again I don't know that for a fact. I'm just trusting chat. But yeah, I do, Steve. But even if he does have asthma, I think that there's still some conditioning issues going on here, because he still just gets tired at random times. There's something else going on. That's all I know. But and it seems like when he's engaged in the game and he cares about the game, there's not that much of an issue with his conditioning. So I don't know. We'll see. Adrenaline's a thing. I'm not denying that, but yeah.
Dude, this is such an interesting development. Like my mind is shifted. Like, is this why he's like his cadence has shifted and he's more patient and he's playing the full force quarter, but he's not like overexerting himself? And is this why like he's being more like kind of trigger happy with his shot, so then he can stay relevant in games longer to like explode in the fourth, to have more gas in the fourth? I'm like, my mind is spinning in ways that I shouldn't even talk about right now, because the game was a blowout, but it could have been much closer. We didn't play perfect.
My dad just sent me a Google link that says Anthony Edwards does not have asthma. But there was some other Anthony Edwards that died from an asthma attack. That's off topic. but yeah. Anyways, I mean, it doesn't really matter either way.
I think it matters.
It's an issue. It's an issue late in games, especially games that seemingly are less cared about. Anyways, cool. You want to jump into the tier list? We're already talking about individual players. Might as well.
Look at
Boom.
this. Scheduled rest
Yeah.
games next season are a must. Then I love this. Let's do it. Fuck that, man. Let's
I'm
lean
so
into
down.
the stupidity because I feel like, first of all, I think this team has never looked better than like where we landed before the playoffs. We are getting back to that. We are not there yet, but we are getting back to that. And there could be moments where next season, you know, we build off of what we've done this year, and maybe like Ant could rest, and we could bring in the the Clarks and the Terrence Shannon Juniors for a game or two. You know, maybe scheduled rest would be very, very beneficial for someone like Ant. And I mean, they're giving us the runway of 15 games. You have to play for 65 games, you know, to like be eligible for awards and stuff. So like maybe we play into that. Like maybe play him 73 to 75 games instead of all 82. Anyways, why am I talking about that? Because
also
this is very relevant for the postseason. He needs
shorten
to
the
be
season.
yeah, he needs to be primed for this. He should not look gassed. He should not look like a 35-year-old. He should be as dominant as we are expecting him.
Yes.
I
knew the tier list.
What a remarkable game from the others tonight, Cameron.
Yeah, for sure.
What a remarkable, like, please carry us
For real.
to the promised land. And boy, did it look like Golden State needed someone named Stephen Curry, because they really looked like they let off the gas pedal. They were trying all sorts of lineups, but they really didn't have one player outside of Kuminga, right? One player outside of Kuminga who like really wanted to like take this game.
Yeah, Kerr is insane. I don't know what he's thinking playing this many players legit minutes.
Yeah.
Like he's playing Gui Santos like 8 minutes too many. He should not be in the game. We were blowing by him every time. I mean, Pat Spencer, I know, has played well for them at times, but that's always pretty much been in garbage time. Kuminga played a lot. He played well, but like realistically, he's been so hot or cold this season. There's been some really bad Kuminga games. So, I mean, of course, he looked fantastic tonight, but just really odd. I mean, this felt like what they were talking about last series that they had, where they kind of rested people for Game 5 against Houston to be like, okay, well, we're just gonna load up for Game 6 and 7. It's almost what it seems like they did tonight, although they were still playing Jimmy late into the game. So it's just weird. But yeah. Quick notes on the Warriors. Top scorer for them, 18 points from Kuminga. Next is 17 points from Jimmy Butler. Next is 15 points from Buddy Hield, and tied with Trace Jackson Davis, who also got 15 points. Side note, Trace Jackson Davis also had one of his best games of the season against the Timberwolves earlier this year. So
yeah,
this is a problem.
I remember Jim Peterson always talked highly of him, and I always remember like him kind of being like that random Timberwolves killer.
Yes.
So when he did show up tonight, like because he wasn't playing the rest of the playoffs, I was like, oh, he's gonna be relevant. I don't know how, but he will.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I have not like sniffed lines or anything, but my nose is crazy right now. So.
You're good. I can read off some stats while you sniff some more lines. We're not gonna do the garbage time players, but shout out Leonard Miller. That's probably not his first playoff bucket, but maybe of this, at least the series, maybe the season. I don't know. Minot had a nice finger roll. Terrence Shannon Jr. almost had a nice dunk, but they got in the way. They weren't gonna allow it. But we can jump right into our eighth man, Nikhil Alexander Walker. Get your grades in for Nikhil. I forgot. I need to say this again. A1, unforgettably good. Glenn Taylor, unforgettably bad. Meh, we care about you, bud. You were fine. Old tier goes up and down. And this is only based on tonight and based on our expectations for that player coming into tonight. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. Nikhil Alexander Walker, 7 of 13 shooting tonight, 4 of 6 from 3. Had 20 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. Did have 4 fouls. I hated a lot of those fouls, and I feel like he's becoming like as bad as Ant with the complaining about fouls now.
I noticed one of them that he was complaining a lot on. That was clearly a foul, but
yes, yeah. But overall, I mean, this was like amazing game from Na. Finally, finally getting this game. I said coming into the series that he was going to be an X factor for us. And to a degree, he has been. I mean, like, the X factor, I think a lot of the times when we think X factor, myself included, I think more of like positive impact. But the X factor really is like both. Like they can sink you or they can keep you afloat. And Nikhil sank us a little bit last game and kept us afloat this game. So I
Did
agree with
Michael Irvin kiss Ant?
I didn't see that. I saw it and then I looked away. So I don't know what happened.
It's crazy to see like this mid 50-year-old dude with like.
Yeah.
And anyways, that's cool to see. He was in the attendance. Also, randomly, Chef Reactions is now a Timberwolves fan sitting courtside.
Yeah,
I don't know why. I'm a fan of this guy named Chef Reactions. He's like a random human on the internet. But I wasn't talking about that. We're talking about Nikhil Alexander-Walker. The chat has spoken. It doesn't matter what I have to fucking say. Look at this. Look at this. Look at
it was easy, Cash. Yeah, I agree.
Drew. Shout out to you. Cash.
Oh yeah. Cash not quite grilling us.
I agree, Drew. I agree. We're moving on though. We'll talk about Julius in a moment. Yes.
Yes, that's a new tier.
Yes, tier.
Or maybe that's to the kiss.
Oh, he was probably high. Cash. Straight Cash, homie. We need you. We needed you so badly in this game, bud, and we got you.
Sounded like you were singing.
Oh, yeah?
It did for a second. I was like, oh, okay.
We could do one of those shows in falsetto.
I could do my voice changer again.
In 3, 2. Oh, yeah, voice changer.
I do have the voice changer.
That got all the subs. Yeah.
That did get all the subs.
Dante DiVincenzo. It's so funny. I was talking to my friend about like who we have on the roster, and like we traded for this player named Dante DiVincenzo. He's basically like this shooter, right? He straights up, he comes in the game, and he shoots threes. That's 100% what he did. But we're all like clank, clank, hit just like dead ball shot.
Yeah.
I was like, well, that's what we got him here for. And like, when it didn't matter, he made a couple that was like pretty cool. But 9 points, 5 assists. That was big. I think what I am missing. And what we got tonight in a huge way. 33 fucking assists. We're moving the ball, man. We're moving the ball. Even when Ant was sitting out, I think that even helped us a little bit. Like we're moving the ball more.
Yeah.
Nas, Dante, high assist numbers, 5 assists. This is giving me good vibes. This gives me a nice.
Yeah. I actually, even though he was missing some shots, I did feel like his game was better tonight for sure. And he was playing with hustle and effort as well. Yeah, I agree. I think I can be not as harsh on Dante tonight, even though he missed some shots. I agree.
Nah, gets a kiss on the cheek too. Fucking what?
We need to clip that audio for something.
What a great game for the Wolves. Shout out to you. Here's my little heart. You got to get used to it. I know. I'm sorry. The team as a whole, the team has a whole, but also as a whole came through and washed that bad taste out of my mouth of game 1. Damn straight. Comment on the night so far. Definitely that the loss was really frustrating. I mean, like I could see how we lost, but like how we lost was frustrating. And I couldn't like wash away. That's going to show itself again somehow. And I'm so happy that we just made shots, came out strong, and our bench just delivered, in ways that we were not seeing it for a few games here. So
yeah.
A kiss hole.
Oh, God.
Depending, we're going there.
We have gone there,
anyways,
apparently.
Any other thoughts? We're moving on to
Charlie's
beach towel himself.
Sorry. Chat's going crazy.
Yeah, I do love
towel.
that though.
I love
our
it.
chat.
Yes.
Nas Reed, 30 minutes, 11 points, 5 assists. Incredible shit. I'm so proud of the ball moving. And also his shot is butter. When it's on, oh my God.
Yeah.
He looks so
crazy.
different. There was a moment where I was really, really worried why we're playing Gobert. They were definitely like small, and Gobert was like, I think he got a charge on like Podzinski or something. And I was just like, man, we don't really need Gobert right now. They're not going to the hole at all. They're just shooting from 3. Maybe we just get someone else out there. Immediately, Finch, listen to my thoughts. Pulled in Nas Reed, hits a 3 immediately, and it's like, oh, yes. Calm down. Gets a nice from me, dog.
Yeah, I think it's at least nice for me. The shooting obviously wasn't like he made some impact shots, which I think is what makes it feel a little bit better than Dante to me, even though they shot relatively the same or basically the same. But also his hustle plays, I think, were just for me very noticeable. So I mean, I don't know if I can go all the way up to cash. I do think that I'm probably at nice with you, but if there were something in between
You're
nice
nice
and
with me.
cash, I'd probably do that.
Would you kiss him
Would I kiss him for a Larry
Yeah.
O'Brien?
for an LOB?
For an LOB? Yes. Anyone.
Believe it or not, the Warriors got to the line more. And they out-rebounded us. They actually felt like they were playing the role player like to perfection, where like the Kumingas, the Trey Jackson, Jay Davis, and a couple other players were playing like beyond their potential. I'm just so happy that our role players like shut that crap in the butt, in the bid or the bud or whatever, and took it home for us, because I think that's so valuable to get 40 points off our bench from those three players. It's incredible.
Yeah.
To our starters, Mike Conley. I'm so happy he made his first shot. That was incredible to see. He didn't really do anything else.
That was it. But no. He had a really good defensive play. That's right. He had one really good defensive play, and then he was hyping up the bench, and now everybody's making fun of him on Twitter because they're like, "Oh wow, you're celebrating beating a G League team."
Dude.
But I don't care. Anytime Mike Conley gets hyped on the floor,
yeah,
I'm in. Like,
yeah. I'm talking about him like he's like this fucking old ass. I'm like multiple years older than him. I can't fall down. If I fall down, he will not see me for the rest of the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I feel it. I feel him for him.
Maybe the tier list tonight shouldn't be tiers. It should be, would we kiss them?
Would we kiss them? All right.
Yes or no?
Ish.
Yeah.
Should we just kiss them? Yeah.
Yeah.
A hella defense. Give him his old tier.
Old
Cameron?
tier, but where is the question? I'm moving you around. Sorry. Old tier. Dynamic old tier. You know what? He can go above We Care About You, bud. I think that's fair. Mike had a little bit of night.
20. That possession frustrated the shiza out of me, man.
Row.co, everybody.
Yeah. Above meh. Manimal is
Perfect.
correct.
Yes.
As always. I have. It's not a confession. This is just a revelation. Sometimes you gotta just like scream on the rooftop. I love Jaden McDaniels. Cameron, I think we just gotta say things like that more often to each other.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, bud, but I love Jaden McDaniels. Jaden McDaniels, 7 for 10 from the floor, 16 points. You know, you can say nothing about his like other stat lines, 2 rebounds, whatever, but 3 steals, 3 blocks. Fucking shut that crap down. Jimmy Butler not popping off pods. You're not getting anything. Incredible. Nice. Cash. Whatever you want. A1. Give it to him.
I think, I like weirdly could probably go with Cash just because he shot so well. And he's kind of like a sleeper. Like his ability to get buckets tonight was super helpful because even though it's not always, at least tonight, other than the dunk, there wasn't like any really. The dunk and the 3, there weren't really many like pretty buckets that he made. There were a lot of those ones where he kind of just like elevates and it almost looks like he's going to charge or like land on the defender or something like that. And then it hits front rim and somehow goes in. But they went in. That's all that matters. And 3 steals, 3 blocks, played really good defense. Everybody that he was on, I felt really good. Yeah, the dunk was so sick. That was like, it's like that's a sleeper dunk. That was good. 2 hands. He got up there. I'm down with Cash.
Somewhat solo. Jaden McDaniels in caps lock, my favorite player on the team, and aside and all. I call them fire and ice.
Oh.
I like it. I like it.
Perfect.
He's hot and treacherous.
Kissable.
I like it. I like that name. I like that nickname. I don't think he likes the name Slim Reaper, and I think that's even like a term that like KD would discount. But
Yeah. Yeah. Okay,
Clamps.
Butterfly would get 3 kisses. 3 kisses for Jaden.
Cash plus clamps. Fire knives right there.
Clamps is a fun tier, maybe. Kind of like that. But it's hard because if somebody has a terrible offensive game but a great defensive game, I don't know.
This might be for tonight only. I don't want to like
kissable theory.
But hey, here on the show, halftime, also post game #analysis. Our halftime grade for Jaden was kissable. Our full game, post game, acceptable game from Jaden McDaniels, incredible game from Jaden McDaniels. Rudy Gobert. Can we talk about Rudy Gobert? I need you to give me the scoop, the oops of Rudy Gobert. Chose not to do any dunking of any kind. But I saw a 30-second clip of him just doing this to his forehead. What's going on with Rudy Gobert? In 30 minutes, 5 points, 9 boards, 4 fouls, 3 turnovers, 1 for 4 from the free throw line. What happened?
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, he was just bad tonight. I think he was bad in general. Like, he was just playing. This is more of the series where I feel like he can get played off rather than the last one because, like, you kind of said it earlier. Like, they were just taking threes and, like, and when they weren't taking threes, it's because they had drawn him out to the 3-point line. And then they have a wide open lane to the bucket, and we're just not used to it because we just rely on Gobert playing drop and being right around the basket. So, this feels like a series where we could play him significantly less. However, he also got poked in the eye, and you didn't get to hear this, but I don't know why this is so funny to me. I keep laughing about this. But the announcers, he got poked in the eye, and it was bad. It was one of those plays where he's like slowly getting back on offense, which is annoying. And I thought that he was just like trying to fake an injury to like prove a point, like foul wise or something, because he does that a lot. But this one was actually like he got poked in the eye, and you can see like his eyes all red, like deep inside. It was not good.
Shoot.
But then also later, like he was on the bench doing the thing, like rubbing his head. So maybe he had a headache or a migraine or something like that. That seems likely or possible. But the announcers kept saying that the reason Gobert was hurt and out of the game is because there was a rebound where the ball came off and hit him in the head. And they kept saying it over and over again that the reason that Gobert was out, he got hit in the head by that rebound. And it's like just the dumbest. I don't know what so like I'm sure people are going crazy with that on Twitter. Because it was like the stupidest comment ever. I mean, the broadcast was really bad tonight, but
dude, Stan Van Gundy needs to just go.
He just hates us. He just hates the Timberwolves. Everything he was saying tonight was really like.
Have you noticed he like? So I did not listen, but in previous games and all other series, he has one point that he wants to make, and then he will say it
for the whole game.
Every possession.
Yep.
He just keeps talking about it. They are awful. And dude, shout out to Michael Grady. I don't know what to say about what's going on. I really hope that he I think there's like room for him to still be on the Timberwolves announcing roster,
I think he will.
We're gonna have more off games where he's
gonna
not
be like,
there. But I think he's gonna be like the main dude for the WNBA.
That's cool. Yes. He's gonna be like, I think he's gonna be like Mike Breen. Like Mike Breen still calls Knicks games. So like, or like Ian Eagle. Ian Eagle still does Nets games. So like I think he could be like one of them. And he's just going to be more on the main rotation because there's not national TV games every single day. So, but I don't really know how NBC or Amazon or whoever is doing that.
Yeah.
So
I think it's for Amazon. I don't know.
I think it's both.
Yeah.
I think he's somehow doing both. I don't know. It's weird, but either way.
Okay. We need to move on. I can't talk about. Jake Harrison said can't talk about. Too soon. Alrighty. But Gobert, we need you, bud. We care about you, bud. Maybe we don't. I mean, we need him for the series. I do want him in the series, but like maybe need him less. You know what? It's really going to be sick is that how much we're going to need him in next series. Hey, if we, knock on wood, move on.
Yeah, because I think that next series he will be very valuable. Again, I mean, it doesn't matter who we go up against because both of them have bigs that are actually bigs that would warrant him being out there. So, yeah, we're gonna need him next series, assuming we can make it the next series. But
Um,
is he
Tyler's
above or
mentioning.
below the kissable line tonight? No, I'm just kidding.
Ooh, yeah, Rudy not kissable tonight. No,
Not kissable.
not so much.
No, might have pink
Um,
eye.
Tyler mentioned how he was how Stan Van Gundy was maybe mentioning something about Ant, and that's correct. I don't know if you caught what he was saying, but moving on. He's like baby Anakin. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, we have him when you have him when he's pod racing right now. That's pretty sick. I love it. All right. Rudy Gobert, not kissable.
French kissed here.
Grady is. He's,
Yeah, Grady is. Yeah, we're all on the same page here.
We're on the same page.
Yeah.
Sometimes he's all I look at. What? Anthony Edwards, 34 minutes, 20 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, 6 for 8 from the line. But I really couldn't tell you what he did tonight. So
he's just getting. So here's the thing: he's getting really bothered by the defense that the Warriors are playing on him. They are doing a lot of zone, which apparently we've just forgotten again how to play this. Which maybe we just don't have the team for it. I don't know. Maybe we just are totally beaten by the zone. But we got to figure that out. He made some points after the game last time. Finch called him out in the post game, which I know there's a lot of different opinions on that. I'm kind of okay with what Finch said, but also at the same time, like listening to Ant, I was like, he did just miss a lot of open shots, and if those shots go in, I have a wildly different opinion about how the game is. So, he went 0 of 10 or 0 of 11 to start the game or something like that. If he hits 4 of those shots, I'm feeling way better. So Ant is right to a degree, but and tonight, he still had some missed bunnies. He was driving a lot more tonight, which I liked, and I think
yeah,
that was the big thing, the big improvement for me. Also, still played some pretty good defense at times. Got some rebounds. He's getting a lot of rebounds this series. He's like last game he had 15 or 16, and now tonight he had 9 again. But yeah, I don't know if you said 20 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals. It's not good enough, but at the same time, it technically was good enough because we won. But going forward, I think we just need a little bit more consistency from Ant. I don't know if he's hurt. I don't know what's going on that's bothering him. Maybe he's just in a funk right now. We had Nas in a funk for a while, and Nas was in a funk until tonight. You got players, especially that are shooters, especially 3-point shooters, that are just going to go through moments where they're just not shooting as well. And maybe it's happening to Ant right now, and he's going to have the greatest ending of the series or next series or whatever. That's all we can kind of hope for. Like Nickeil Alexander-Walker said before the game today, he's like law of averages, and then he came out and did this tonight. So that's awesome. But yeah, I don't know where to put him grade-wise, though. I mean, I think honestly,
we care about him, bud.
Probably care about you, bud. Yeah,
we care about him so much. He's the heart. He's the
and
ace.
So he
also, he's our heart and our ace. He's all 4 suits of cards. Oh my god, what am I? I'm a board game designer. That's what I am. He's our everything, but it's so fun to have like maybe not necessarily an off game, but a game where he's like kind of finding himself. But we care. We support him. We supplement him, and we're not like wasting possessions where he's not utilized. We can actually rest him on occasion on possessions. It's yeah, like someone mentioned earlier, I don't think the word joy is like this meme or anything. I know like Jimmy Butler mentioned it and everything, but like yeah maybe he's trying to find a little bit more like of a meaning in this series. I don't know, right?
Yeah,
I'm not necessarily sure if I'm convinced what I just said, but like
me either.
He takes a lot of matchups personally. He takes a lot of like matchups like on at the point of attack. I think there's not like the matchup for him that he's like really trying to dominate or out like perform, but we need him, and he knows it. And it's also great to have this like new playmaking Ant, and the defense was there despite his maybe struggles and yips from shooting and everything and taking possessions off. Like his defense has been there. It's been great and wonderful to see. We need him, bud. We need him. So that's where I'm going to put him.
You, bud. Yes. Also kissable.
Always kissable.
Always kissable. Next, who are we on? Oh, we're just down to Julius, aren't we? No. Maybe.
Yeah. I don't know. Why? I don't know. Who is this guy? Who is this guy talking about words out of his mouth? Doesn't make any sense. I don't know. The meaning. I don't want to. Do I want to belabor on this point? Like, sometimes when you play like a LeBron, a Luka, you play against Murray and Jokic, you're taking down, KD. You're taking down those kings. You're taking. He has like this no fear attitude, and he wants to just like dominate the game. And I feel like maybe I don't think he's like being like held back. But I do strongly feel like he's checking himself a little bit more in the postseason, where he doesn't necessarily need to take over all the time and focusing on maybe what he can control, and then at moments where he's trying to pick in his spots, he's doing it. But we need him more than just picking spots.
Yep. Yeah. No. Did you read the stats?
I don't think that answered your question,
Julius?
Tyler. I'm sorry. I don't know why I say words. Hey, I think the player of the game, Cameron.
Yeah.
Unless you had something else on Ant, I'm so sorry.
Nope.
I agree. By the way, Tyler, I agree so much. That has been maybe the highlight of my life, and that's kind of embarrassing. But it was that Denver series
that was
with Ant. It really was. All right. So, anyways, moving on. The player of the game was Julius Randle. Cannot be disputed unless you have some other answer. Then we will pute. Julius Randle, 33 minutes, 10 for 17 from the floor. My God, 24 points, 11 assists, 7 rebounds. Who would have thought that this guy would emerge from a trade in the beginning of the preseason? Like, This is not who I thought this player was at all. I thought he was a black hole, like a has-been short version of a center that could dominate in the league 10 years ago, who has a really weird shot and a really couple couple go-to moves that are just like kind of,
Yeah.
Insane. I was not expecting this type of game from him. Not tonight, but like not ever.
Yeah,
the fact that he's a playmaker is the reason why we made this trade. The fact that he can just like polish whatever turd we have on offense to make the offense go through him. Incredible. Hey, they didn't start a point guard on their starting lineup tonight, and it showed. They had to go through Draymond Green, who is ass. He is so ass when Curry's not out there, man. Draymond is so bad when Curry's not out there. He's setting movie screens for fucking Quentin Post. He has no role out there.
What is Post starting for, by the way? Like what?
Julius Caesar tier. Let's go.
Julius Caesar tier. Yeah, I mean, this is a great game. I can't go all the way up to A1, but I can certainly go cash, and I think it's deserving.
A1? This is an A1 performance.
This is A1 for you.
Yeah.
You're going to tell your children about this
Terrible
someday.
takes. Uh-oh.
Oh,
because you knew he had this. Okay, I'm sorry. He has attitude and power and smarts. The APS.
APS.
Cash.
Oh, yeah, I think it's cash. This is a really, really good game. And obviously, like you said, coming into the season, my expectations were certainly not that we were going to be getting triple-double Julius Randle in the playoffs. I know he didn't get triple, he almost did, but this is Gorilla Nuts tier territory, really. But treacherous tier. Oh, see, we need a bigger tier list. We have so many good new tiers that we could do. But yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say. I mean, he was just fantastic. And he's a huge reason of why we're winning in the playoffs this year. Like,
I love it.
Almost the same as Ant at times.
Dude, wonderful comment. Like, he is the reason why we're doing this right now. Yeah. Wow.
And
Keep
we need
going,
a
keep
ball
cooking.
handler. We need a ball handler. So, like you were talking about Golden State not having any point guards. Like there was times where we had basically 3 out there because we would have like Mike or Nikhil out there, and then we would have Dante out there, and then if you're counting Julius, which you basically have to, we had 11 assists. Like that's a lot of flexibility, and I think that's where he adds so much value because as we talked about last year, although Kat mentioned Kat was a great shooter at times and could really take over in that respect. His driving was, although late season was much better, but a lot of the time it was pretty out of control and, a lot of charges, lots of, not such pretty things, turnovers, things like that. But yeah, it's, he's capable of distributing, being not really like a Draymond, but to do like our version of Draymond on our team, I guess, at times. So I don't know, but
I have a crazy tangent. What's up, Maddie?
that was weird. I saw it in the background. I was like, "What's happening?"
Are you getting swatted, Cam?
I'm getting swatted. These Golden State fans are crazy.
I just learned what that term was. So I'm using
really?
it. No, I'm lying. But
okay.
Okay. This is a stretch. I know this is a stretch. But Karl Anthony Towns is a unicorn, right? Shoots the 3. Incredible player, Kat mentioned. And it is doing so much good for the New York Knicks right now. Like there's obviously moments where he's picked apart. He looks like the role he is, the player he is on defense at times. But he is doing so much good for the Knicks. At least look at what they're doing.
Yep.
Nas Reed played under Kat and was kind of mimicking Kat behaviors offensively, shooting 3s, mimicking his defensive identity because he's replacing Kat in the lineup. So he has to do what Kat does. Nas Reed is also a playmaker under the radar.
Yeah.
Killer dribble, a killer playmaking instinct, and has really good tendencies when the ball is in his hands. Julius Randle. Enter Julius Randle. Nas Reed is playing under Julius Randle and has to kind of supplant or perform with or play, kind of do what Julius Randle does so that we don't have so many different ways of kind of using our lineups. Randle is a playmaker, highlighted, augmented by the fact that we needed it, and we were forcing it sometimes with Kat as a playmaker. Yes. Draw the double team and pass it out, or drive to the rim and pass it out. That we were trying that with Kat, and then we would have offensive fouls, we'd have turnovers, we would have lazy passes, we had high passes, under the legs pass, all the other random crap.
Yeah.
My take is Nas Reed playing with Julius Randle is helping Nas Reed, the new version of him, being also a playmaker.
Yeah.
Because we were just like, hey, shoot in the corner.
Yep.
I think Julius Randle is also kind of this big brother, this big brother energy to Ant, to Nas, to the other players. He's not that much older, but he's helping bring them up in a way where he's not taking away. He's happily comfortable, unknowingly comfortable with distribution, drawing the double team, but passing it out way better, way earlier. And he's so more in control. Nas also in control. I think that's our superpower. This team, this roster, Cameron, maybe I'm wrong. Hot take, whatever the fuck take. Kissable take. Julius and Nas are our superpower because they are playmakers from the 4. It's rare. It's not necessarily on everyone's roster and on everyone's radar that's who we are. But I feel like that opens our game considerably. Julius Randle showed us tonight, the type of game that he has is going to kind of ascend and kind of bring up Ant into this new world where he's not going to play off of Julius better than he ever could have with Kat, right? To the point where maybe we don't need the Conley. We could use a Dante because Randall's our point forward.
Yeah.
Oh my God. The Cavs of when LeBron was out there and Miami Heat and Lakers where LeBron is the point forward and you could just throw Boobie Gibson out there or some random Mario Chalmers. Look at that. A random dude that doesn't really have great point guard skills or tendencies to sit in the corner or sit in the side to like shoot threes and stuff. So I mean, this really helps us. And I think this is one of my favorite games from Julius. Yeah, I think Solidus T is correct. Like sometimes it's a little uncomfortable to watch where he gets a little black hole. He dribbles a little bit too much. But he is learning how to be different and evolve or not evolve, but like kind of grow with this team. And I think he's killing it.
Yep, I agree. And I've said it all year, like the dribbling to Solidus's point, like it's uncomfortable to watch at times, but it's not always a bad outcome. In fact, I think a lot of the time it's quite a good outcome. It's just something that I've had to get used to. It's like seeing somebody dribble like that and be able to pass out of it from like under the basket with 3 people around him or finish with 3 people around him is something that I've had to just like learn and try to be comfortable with. I still don't think it's super comfortable, but it is effective and clearly helping us in the playoffs this year. Easy cash. Julius, make it happen, Randall.
I would kiss him 6 times.
6 times.
6
Wow.
lip smacking.
Oh man.
Good kisses. You know what I mean? You ate the Cheetos and then you're like, mwah. What was going on at the beginning of the year, at the beginning of the game? Like Julius Randle had this like they zoomed in on him and he looked like he was actually kissing us.
Yeah, actually, that's great. The whole day has been kiss themed. I saw exactly what you're I need to rewatch the game and see that like freeze frame it or something because that was crazy.
If these guys fully embrace the team aspect and make the extra pass and box out, they are almost unbeatable. Agreed. Full stop. 33 assists. Another like big highlight stat of the night. Yeah. They out rebounded us. They actually played bigger than us in a lot of ways. They played multiple bigs, but we just played the team aspect, and it's incredible in the ways that like Anthony necessarily didn't have to, drive it home for us or like make the home run play, and he didn't have to pop off for 40. Play team ball. The best is going to come out. The best is yet to come, honestly, too. So
we really won every category tonight. I'm looking at this now. It's crazy. We won points in the paint, second chance points, fast break points, 3-point percentage, field goal percentage. We had less turnovers, more blocks, more steals, more assists, more rebounds, more points, obviously. We kind of won in every way. So really good. Really good stuff.
Really good stuff.
Important win. You couldn't have lost this. Kiss of death. I love it. I will say, although, I was a little like I know there's some backlash. I'm getting canceled. I'm not getting canceled. But some people aren't like super enthused or question why I don't think this was like a fantastic game. It's really just that I assumed that we needed to take like this was supposed to be our big response game. And like, okay, we just lost like a pretty terrible game. Like you got to come back and be crazy, crazy good. And there were still just a lot of uncomfortable moments, and even a point where the Warriors were able to go on a really comfortable run and bring the game within 7. I was extremely nervous at that point. But hang on, I just noticed the camera's take. But back to David's comment here, the kiss of death for Golden State tonight. I've been thinking we should do this, by the way. This is what all the other podcasts do. But it's very difficult to do that live. But like us winning this game tonight, like if Golden State won this game, they buy themselves at minimum a game 6 because then they can maybe get Curry back, maybe really put something together. But us winning this game kind of halts that momentum. I'm not saying that they're out of it because, of course, they won a game. They've stolen home court from us. All they need to do is win one of these games at home, and then that gives them a chance. But man, this is a huge win for us to come back like this because there were multiple times where it felt like Golden State could make a run tonight, and they just we put the kibosh on that every time.
Kibosh, yeah. Dude, Jake, I enjoy winning too. Winning is fun. It cures a lot. I was really worried going into halftime about that ankle because I didn't hear anything from the commentary. I was very, very, very just worried. I didn't hear anything from any of you guys or on Twitter or anything. And it looked like an awful like step on his right ankle, right like above the ankle. Now, I don't know what that means. And the way that he was holding it looked terrible. The fact that he comes out, he comes ready, hungry. We put this game away. Incredible. Winning this series is going to do a lot of good because in consecutive years, man, we're going to be going back to the conference finals. Incredible stuff. That's not expected.
It's
We
crazy.
trade away Wiggins, Levine, Cat, like Gorgie, like all these players that were our future back then for pieces.
Yeah.
And we draft Ant, we draft Jaden, we sign Nas Reed, undrafted Nas Reed.
Undrafted. Yeah.
We build through random trade ancillary pieces, and
Who was like given up on, by the way, and then he's
Conley,
played
given
amazing
up
for
on
us.
also.
Yeah.
And then we make a couple of big trades. Rudy Gobert solidify some defense, and then Cat trade to get our depth in check.
Mhm.
Incredible stuff. Hopefully for a big season run, big postseason run. I want to talk about one thing that someone said earlier.
Do it.
Evan. And also just thank you all for your donations and everything. It's incredible. Evan Wasowski says he's definitely rooting for the Knicks to beat Boston, but Boston is probably better on the road, can beat the Pacers and whatever. These playoffs have been awesome. These players have been remarkably fun.
Mhm.
Minnesota playoff basketball is the best. I want to speculate.
Yeah.
It's very early to speculate, my friend. It's far too fucking early. A New York Knicks Minnesota Timberwolves final
Yep.
would be banging.
It would be amazing.
And it's not far-fetched. There's
Oh,
still
it is not.
Bro.
And I know it's not. I mean, it's not anymore. I have thought about this actually for quite some time now. And I can tell you exactly when I started thinking about this. I thought about this back on December 29th. I went to the casino and I placed a $5 bet that the Timberwolves and the Knicks would go to the finals together. And right now, that bet is looking pretty good. I don't hate it. So it's possible. I've also got Karl Anthony Towns down as finals MVP. So, but yeah, it's certainly possible. The East, to touch on the East a little bit, their playoffs have been super fun, especially this round. Like I've really enjoyed watching these games. I was jumping up and down for that Knicks game the other day. That was insane. The Pacers too. That was an insane game, super fun, and the Pacers look really, really good. They beat us earlier in the season. We got kind of down about it. They are like so legit. They play really good defense and have really good offense, and they play fast. So they look really good. And then, of course, the Knicks are looking great. Apparently, it's crazy, but the Celtics still are the betting favorites to win that series, even though they're down 2-0. That is crazy to me.
I guess Nas right about law of averages, but if you're 25% from three from the series after shooting 100,000 threes,
yeah,
maybe
it's a problem. So I don't know. I'm excited to watch some of these East games, but Timberwolves play again Saturday, right? Saturday, I'm not wrong. Yes,
that's
Saturday, correct. Same time as today, 7:30 Central on ABC in Golden State. We will be on the road, which is maybe a good thing for us. I'm very excited about this game. I am really hoping this is a huge. I mean, of course, I think people still. This is the thing that I hate about Steph Curry being out is that everybody's just expecting us to win every single game now, and that's not when the Timberwolves play their best when they're expected to win. They play their best when they are counted out completely. So
you're right.
But winning this game, if we win game 1 or game 3, I guess in Golden State, I feel super comfy just because that means that we came out with the right fire. Of course, it depends on how it looks too, but no, I feel really good if we can beat them in game 3. And if we beat them in game 3, then I really do feel like it might be Wolves in 5. So I just think we'll want to take care of business. And if we can beat them that game, that's going to be their game that they probably try the hardest to win, because if they can steal that one, then they can all rest for game 4 and then have 3 days off in between game 4 and 5, or is it between 5 and 6? I don't remember. Regardless, there's some really long break. So that'll be cool. But yeah. Any final words from you?
It's not over.
Not over.
We have a ways to go. But it was such a response. The first 3 minutes got me back in this series. I was feeling pretty down after that loss. I was like expecting a much more of a series where we just take it and like dominate, and I was not expecting that loss. And to see us come out like with a sense of urgency was great. Let's build off of this lead. Let's win. Let's not take any game lightly. We need to win. We need to win one in Golden State, but it would be kind of amazing to win both. Yeah. At moments when we are hurried, and in moments when we are not playing for the other player, we're just like jacking up shots. It looks bad.
Yeah.
But 33 assists tonight, playing for everyone else. We got 40 points from the bench, meaningful points from the bench. We had a killer Julius Irving layup from Minot in dead time. I think there's a lot of spirit in this team. A lot of like, when you talked about the fit, like everyone's quiet, like we are serious, we're taking it seriously. I don't want the emotional high and low. I want to build off this lead and build off this win. And I feel ready for Saturday. Let's get that game going right now.
Let's do it.
I'm
ready. I am ready for it. And I'm ready to see a really good shooting Anthony Edwards game. That would give me life, I think. Cool. Well, I appreciate you all. Guess we'll team full of cutie patooties. There we go. You heard it here first. Breaking news. Cool.
Like your accent.
Well, Timberwolves win 117-93 against the Warriors. And we will see what happens on Saturday. Intro as the outro. I have no other way to end this. I am trying not to be a Minnesota goodbye this time. So like the stream. Maybe a giveaway next stream. Maybe a giveaway. I forgot that we might have 2 home games if we go to game 7. I'm forgetting that we're the home team in this series. This is really weird. But anyways, intro is the outro. We will see you Saturday night. Peace.
I believe that the Minnesota Timberwolves are going to win the world championship.